Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Beliefcast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester, your host of the Beliefcast. Thank you so much for tuning in week after week. You guys mean the world to me. Thanks for believing in this mission and sharing these episodes. We are ranked in the top 100 in mental health in the world, and it's because of you guys and also these amazing people I bring on my show. I'm just here asking questions, so I think I might have a small part in this, but thank you for tuning in. Thanks to my sponsors. Again, without you guys, I wouldn't be able to get the reach that I've had, so thank you for believing me as well. Today on this Beliefcast, I sit down with two powerful women who are changing the conversation around health, nutrition, and what it really means to feel strong in your own body. Madeline Wells and Anna Ord, co-founders of NOA Nutrition, are cutting through the noise of diet culture and bringing something that has been missing for far too long: clarity, simplicity, and truth. Both come from different paths: dance, music, athletics, but they've landed in the same place, helping women stop obsessing over food and start living bigger, more confident lives. This conversation is about more than just macros or meal plans. It's about identity. It's about trust. It's about finally feeling at home in your own body. Madeline's been on the show before, and she was stellar. It was amazing. We were just talking about that. I use a clip of her podcast in all my speaking events, and I call it my secret weapon. And today, joining her is Anna, and she's an amazing person too, which I'm excited for all of you to get to know her better. And so this conversation is going to be really powerful. It's going to be vulnerable. I'm already tearing up. I don't know why I get emotional in these things, but I just love what you guys are doing at such a young age too. And maybe that bothers you when I say that, but they're both nutrition coaches at NOA Nutrition that they've created and just doing amazing things. So with that said, I would like the audience to kind of get to know you guys a little bit. So why don't we start with you, Anna? Tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and kind of, how you were as a child, I guess.
Oh, love it. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. That was so kind. I'm so blessed to do this, Mads. It's been like the best journey ever. Where to start? Let's see. I lived in San Diego when I was young, and then I moved around a lot, and then I went to high school in Draper. As a child, what was I like? I was very outgoing as a child. I love getting to know people. I love getting to understand people's whys. So I think we resonate in that way. I love getting to know, the intention of why people choose certain careers, why people operate the way that they do. I find that so fascinating. So I think that really drives my love for people. After high school, I went to UVU for 2 years and I got my associates. And then I moved out to Boston and I went to Berkeley College of Music, where I studied music and music business. That's impressive.
That's no joke.
I loved
that's serious. Yeah.
It was very rigorous. I wanted something that was really going to push me and a passion that I was really excited about. Then after that, I moved out to Los Angeles, where I lived out there for 3 years. And I was working on an album with my band Bandana. So I have an album out. While I was out there, I was like, okay, I need a way to support myself. So I got trained as a nutritionist and I got my personal training certification. So I worked at Orange Theory in the mornings.
Orange Theory. I've done Orange Theory.
Have you?
I used to be a member there. My wife's still a member there. She loves it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're getting in the orange zone. You're getting in the red zone. I was hyping people up every morning.
I used to laugh. I would always say, I get a splat point going from my car to walking in the front door.
Yeah. The heart rate is super responsive on those heart rate monitors. Totally. Yeah. So, I loved it. I was like, okay, strategically, I was like, I'm going to work as much as I can in the morning before people are up. So I would coach classes from like 5 to noon, and then I'd have the rest of the day to hop in music sessions. Then I'd go to shows at night. And it started just this kind of journey of like going back to what I said previously about why I love getting to know people, is getting to know the intentions, the passions behind it. Yeah. And I think doing music and also nutrition and coaching fitness classes, I was like, I love being in environments where I can hopefully advocate for people and make people feel safe enough to feel like strong in whatever they want to accomplish. So it was like, whether it was in the gym and they were training for like an interview they had, or like an acting audition, or an album, I could provide a space for an hour where I was like supporting them, and I'm like, let's go conquer the day.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, maybe these two things aren't as separate as I thought. I grew up playing soccer, running track, and then I loved making music, playing piano, writing music. And I was like, okay, these are totally different people. And then as I got to LA, I was like, wait, there's a lot of crossover here. I was like, nutrition, fitness gives it the physicality to show up fully in the world and feel everything. Like if you're underfueled, then you're going to kind of numb out. You're too tired to experience life. And then I was like, all the training I've done in music, learning how to articulate my feelings, that's the way that I can actually express how I'm feeling. And so those are two things I'm just really passionate about, like feeling life to its full capacity. What are you feeding your body and your soul? And I think that's kind of the philosophy of what really like inspires me and makes me excited about life.
Was there a struggle involved where, because, you know, you teach this and you preach this, but was there a time in your life where you wrestled with that?
That's a good question. You know, I think there's always times in your life where you're searching for meaning. I think that's probably the root of everything. So I feel like that's been reflected in different struggles. I think just like trying to find my purpose, as all of us do, where I was like, I want to be involved in something where I feel like I'm using my unique talents and gifts. Like, I don't want to be getting to the end of my life and being like, dang, I had this passion. I wish I could have like used it in a way that was a little bit more meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's come with like, we've kind of resonated with this, like in high school, we both moved to high school. Like, I moved to high schools when I was like a freshman, and I think you kind of always have like a chip on your shoulder from how you felt in high school a little bit. And I felt like a little ostracized. And so I think I was kind of on a journey from then on out to like really learn how I could connect with people in a meaningful way, because it wasn't like I grew up with the same people my whole life. I like moved a lot, and then I went to a college that was across the country from all my friends, and I was like, okay, what's like a common thread that I can really tap in with people from all different types of walks of life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Well said. It reminds me of a quote by Pablo Picasso that says, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose in life is to give it away.
Wow.
And that's what you two powerhouses are doing, which I love.
I appreciate that.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and powerful. And by the way, you guys can ask each other questions too if you'd like, but just so you know. So Madeline, obviously you've been on the show before. I've had, I think, your entire family on my show. I love you guys. I love the way you carry yourself. You inspire me in so many ways. So I just want you to know that. So grateful to have you back. So for those who may not know you, give us a little background as well on you.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm, like Todd said, I've been on the podcast before, and I'm so excited to be back, but I'm also so excited to have Anna with me, because
I'm so happy to be here.
Anna is like, working with Anna has truly been like such a dream come true. I know this is not your question, but Anna and I met because our little sisters are best friends.
Oh, okay.
And so we were kind of just destined to be friends as well, but she was living, like she said, she was living in LA when we crossed paths. And anyways, everyone will always ask me like, how's it working with Anna? And it's just the best. So I'm excited for you guys to hear everything that she has to say. She's amazing.
The same way about Madeline.
You guys
She's
seem
incredible.
you guys seem like a great team, and you guys, you know,
we're really lucky. For sure.
Yeah.
So
no, I do feel like we're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Like we both have a ton of energy. And I feel
this
like
podcast might end up being 3 hours.
No, I love
that's good.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's go.
I love Madeline's like lust for life. Like seriously, everything she does, she's so incredibly passionate about it, and it's just a dream to work with someone like that, because we're just getting it done. Like it's one thing to have an idea, and it's one thing to execute it. And I think with Mads, it's like really easy to get things done. So I love you. You're the best.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you guys to meet Anna.
Yes.
A little bit about me. I grew up in Denver, Colorado. I also moved around a lot. I talked about that a little bit on my last episode, but moved around a lot growing up. Was in like South Denver area for 5 years, which was that's still to this day, that's a record for me, 5 years. So but when I graduated, I moved to Utah my junior year of high school, graduated high school in Utah, and then did a year of college before serving a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I served in Phoenix, Arizona for a year and a half.
Nice and hot.
Nice and hot. So hot.
Yeah.
But that's really where my love for, that's where my passion for nutrition came, is being on my mission and having no control, or actually not having no control, but feeling like you have no control over your health, your mental health. Like there's just a lot that feels like it's out of control. And learning how to navigate that and feel comfortable in my own skin, and then watching how other sisters navigated that as well. And it was really heartbreaking for me. And that's really what kind of sparked my love. I realized how passionate I was and how it just like, it touched my heart in a certain way to see. It made me so sad. It was so heartbreaking to see how some of the ways that people would talk about themselves and about certain foods and things like that. So that's where my passion began. And then coming home from my mission, I transferred to BYU, and that's where I'm studying exercise and wellness. I will graduate in December, so
awesome.
I'm close.
Yes,
finally,
you are.
Finally get to the light.
I can see the light.
And my passion for nutrition and health has just continued to grow so much more. Just learning about the fundamentals and learn even more on a deeper level about nutrition and how our bodies work. And so in that process, while I was in school, I got my nutrition certification, and then I also got my personal training certification. I'm currently a trainer at Burn Boot Camp, and it is so much fun.
I've done Burn a couple times, man. It killed me. It is not easy.
It's quite a humbling experience. I'm humbled every single day, and I've been going almost every single day for like 8 months.
Right.
So it's the best. So that's kind of how I express my love, or I guess food is one aspect of it, and the using your body, fueling your body and using your body, they're go so hand in hand, but they're also separate, but two powerhouses that I'm passionate about. So it's a little bit of a brief introduction about me.
No, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And again, I'm excited for this conversation. I work with a lot of clients who, struggle with drug addiction and mental health issues, and one of the most common things I see with my female clients is they have eating disorders, and they've had them since they were in junior high even. And the question I have for both of you is, in a world flooded with conflicting health advice, how do women finally learn to trust themselves and their bodies? Because I think, like you said, when you were on your mission, Madeline, you felt you were out of control. Not that you necessarily were, but that's what it felt like. That was your experience.
Yeah.
I have a daughter that went through the same thing on her mission and just struggled with that whole concept. So, for both of you, I'd love to hear both your insights on how can women finally do that, where they can learn to trust themselves and their bodies. What do you guys think?
So it's quite the can of worms.
I know, that's a big...
I'm like, what lane do we go down? You can start if you'd like.
So many different lanes to go down. I would say this is something that it seems like a super superficial, like almost too simple to be true answer. But I always tell people when I'm asked this question, knowledge is power. The more that you learn about food and nutrition and your body, the more you are able to understand how food helps you rather than hurts you. And I know that in cases of true eating disorders, I think there's a very important distinction between disordered eating and eating disorders. And I think when it's a true case of an eating disorder, there's a lot of mental obviously illness that comes with that. So I would say, more speaking on the terms of disordered eating, I think understanding nutrition and understanding that if I eat certain foods, I will have certain outcomes that are not to be feared, and there's no food group that you should fear or cut off completely, because once you truly understand what food is made out of, it's never something to be afraid of. There's never something, unless I think you're actually allergic to something, that you should cut out completely. And I think the more that you know, the better. I think it's really hard in today's world where people see something on Instagram and this influencer who's super skinny and looks really healthy posts, this is what I do all the time to stay lean year round. And then all of a sudden, their 100,000 followers thinks, okay, that's what I'm going to do that, without doing the proper research to get knowledge for themselves. They just take what they see and they apply it. They think if that influencer or that person who looks a certain way does it, it must be the gospel truth. And so I think the biggest thing is just learn for yourself. Knowledge is power, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to know how to understand a case study in order to understand. I think even just a quick little ChatGPT search away is even going to give you more knowledge than just simply hearing it and applying it.
Well, and I think that makes it important to your point, to hire someone like either one of you as a nutrition coach to learn those things, because where do you go search? Like you said, the social media has all kinds of stuff and it's all conflicting. Don't blend your banana. Eat your banana whole.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's all these weird things. You're going, what is going on here? So I love that. And knowledge is power. When we know more, we do better. Yeah, I love that.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to piggyback off of what Mad said, I think understanding what is normal, I think just like practical skills that we'll teach our clients are like, pair a carb with a fat so you don't spike your blood sugar, pair a protein with a carb, just like little tricks to show that like it may not be a lack of discipline, it may be a lack of knowledge. It's not that you're not strong enough to like not eat a ton of brownies at night. It's like, okay, let's actually talk about the science of what's going on. And I think that companies benefit off of making food really addictive, as with anything. It's just like understanding kind of like the underlying issues. It gives you the knowledge and the confidence to make choices. And then it's not a you problem. It's like, oh, this is the science. Like everyone deals with this. Right. I think that's super helpful. Yeah. And I think even with how we structure the check-ins with our clients is like, we'll give them structured meal plans, but we'll also give them tools that they can use to navigate the real world as well, because everyone has different gifts, different things that tempt them, different schedules.
Yeah,
and
mine's ice cream.
Totally.
There's ice cream in the freezer. I'm just like, oh brother.
Mine too.
Mine too. Yeah, but even taking away like, oh, ice cream is a problem. It's like, let's just talk about it. What's going on here in your body?
Right.
Yeah.
I really like what Anna said, how it's not a discipline problem. There's so many things that's so easy to say, oh my gosh, why do I just crave chocolate so much? And you know, is it just that you just crave chocolate, or is that a completely normal thing? And maybe like that's your body trying to tell you something. And or like maybe it's not, because sometimes you actually are just like sleep can really affect your cravings a lot. So maybe it's you didn't get enough sleep. So I think just to go off of what Anna said, like it's important to break that down. Like, is there something wrong with me? And I'm the only person in the world who craves cookies at night, or is my body trying to tell me that there's something else that I need? And maybe there's just tools that I need. Maybe one tool that I always use is, I have the worst discipline. If there are treats in my house, I will eat them. It is so like, you think, oh, nutrition coaches, they've got it all together. No, I've for sure got my vices. One of my little tricks is, if I get a treat, I put it in the freezer. And then, because if you think of it, it's so easy to just, I want a cookie. It's already warm. It's on the counter. I'm just going to grab it while I'm out the door because I'm really hungry. I need a snack. Or, oh, that looks good. Whereas if it's in the freezer, if I really want it, if I'm thinking about it for like 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and pull that out of the freezer. I'm going to let it defrost. That gives me like 15 minutes to think about, do I really want that? Or can I make some food that I can eat that will make me feel better before I eat that? Or then it's not creating that mindset of like, oh, I can't have that. It's bad for you. But it's like, do I really want it? I'm just going to think about it a little bit longer. I'm going to pull it out of the freezer. So put your cookies in the freezer.
I love that. I'm taking that with me.
Yeah. What I'm hearing you guys say is, don't beat yourself up. And I'll tell you, it feels like that's what is the biggest culprit here, is that we beat ourselves up. Yeah. And we're talking women here, my women clients, man, they are so hard on themselves. Why is that? Why do you think that is our go-to, where we just beat ourselves up instead of saying, well, what's my body really telling me? And asking her, what do you guys think on that? Because I see this happen so much. Yeah.
I think the root of turning inward and starting to beat yourself up is usually a lack of connection. I think when you talk to other people and you realize that there's similar things going on with everyone, that's when you have like a sense of community. And I think it is harder in today's day and age to have like a genuine conversation with people, because we're so quick to outsource our problems to the internet or to social media. And so I think having even just like a best friend that you can confide in, and they're like, oh, I'm going through something similar, you're like, okay, this is a human problem. This isn't a me problem. Wow. And I think women probably have a hard time with that, because we're problem solvers. We want to be there for other people. And like, I think there is the idea of like, you have to have your life figured out first, and then you can be of service to other people. But I think like, I felt totally fulfilled in opening up to other people about problems. And then like, now we have a stronger relationship. Like, I think just taking away the idea that you're a burden to someone else, like, you sacrifice, you know, kind of like an admiration for like love. Like it's hard to hold yourself at a super high level because you're sacrificing community. Like that's how you connect with someone, is you're being genuine, you're being authentic. So yeah, I think just like taking a moment to be like, do I need to outsource this problem to the internet, or is this like a human problem? Can I talk to a friend? Can I talk to a parent or a sibling?
Boy, I love that. I think we need more of that human connection, you know. And again, that's why it's great to have a nutrition coach, because you get to communicate with a human, right? You know, face to face kind of thing. And so it reminds me, and I'm sorry, I'm a quote guy, but
no, love it.
I love it.
Give us all the quotes. I love the quotes.
We're never more fully alive than when we're connected.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Isolation is where we struggle. It's where we suffer.
Yeah.
Right. And I see that a lot too. And I think that's part of when we beat ourselves up, like you guys were saying, we isolate instead of connect.
Absolutely.
It's powerful.
Yeah, I think that's like, I think if any one of us think the most interesting, fulfilling conversations you've ever had, I guarantee you it's about, because you're talking to someone about something that they're passionate about. There's never, like, my husband always makes fun of me because I love people watching, and I just love people.
Sure. Yeah.
But I always tell him, I'm like, you can't tell me there's anything more interesting than another human being.
Yeah.
Like just watching people, or like if you ask someone about their passion, what they're passionate about. We went on a double date last night, and one of our friends he's studying public health, and he talked for like 30 minutes about dust particles and the difference that can make in your health. But it was so fascinating, because if you talk to anyone about anything that they're passionate about, I guarantee it will be the most interesting conversation. So anyways, kind of just going on.
Absolutely.
Lines. People are so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to use the word, I think people are astonishing. I really do. And it's funny, I'll ask a group, you know, that I speak to, I'll say, hey, I think people are astonishing. Would you guys agree? And they all go, oh yeah. And then I says, what does that mean about you? And then they go, oh.
I'm astonishing.
But they struggle with that. They go, oh, you know, we see it in everyone else, but sometimes we have a hard time. Like I spoke at the Forum Academy, and I think you had some friends that have gone through there. So anyway, I go there a couple times a year, and it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. But I asked these girls, I said, imagine if you showed up today believing you're astonishing. Like, what would that look like? And you could see everyone like get uncomfortable. I go, that makes you uncomfortable just by me saying that. But how many of you woke up today saying, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm no good, I hope I can connect with these girls. These girls don't like me. I'm scared to even go to school today. And I'm not kidding you guys, and I get emotional. There was like 10 girls in that audience crying, because I think that's, again, goes back to, why are we so hard on ourselves?
Yeah.
We can look at you two and say, oh, they're astonishing, but then at the same time, I'm a loser. Why is that so prevalent, do you guys think?
Well, I can tell that means a lot to you, because you're getting emotional about it. It makes me emotional too, hearing that.
Yeah.
There's this quote. I'm also a quote girl, so I'm going to drop a quote in the chat. But one of my favorite quotes is, and this isn't even just in a romantic sense, but just in falling in love with people, humanity in general. It's falling in love and art are the same thing, because it's the process of seeing yourself in something that is not you. And I love the idea of, like, once you recognize how incredible other people are, you can have some respect for how incredible you are and maybe how people see you. But I think that's so cool, because I think sometimes and kind of turning it on its head a bit, like we look in the mirror a lot, right? We're a social media generation, but I think we're supposed to see other people more than we see ourselves, because you're able to see yourself in other people. Like when you connect over a passion, or you see someone get emotional and you've experienced that same emotion, that's where you really find like a love for humanity, and that's like the connection. So anyways, I just really love that quote, because I think it really puts things into perspective. It's like you're seeing yourself everywhere. You just have to be aware and intentional enough to see it, and that creates like community and connection, and that's I think that's the most powerful thing in the world.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. It's powerful.
That just as you were speaking, I was thinking, like, how interesting. I think this is definitely a habit that women have. We feel bad thinking positive things about ourselves in some way. Like when you get up and you think, I'm fat and I'm ugly and I'm unsuccessful and no one's gonna like me, because I think that there's like something deep down inside of us that feels bad if we say, I am so capable, I am amazing, I look beautiful today. Like, I think there's something inside us that's programmed us to think that is self-absorbed, which is is so crazy and so sad. But
yeah,
I can promise you, like Anna and I sitting here today, we are so like, I don't feel qualified to be here, but if you flip that mindset and just say like, there's a reason, and just tell yourself like, what's that quote? We were literally talking about this quote. Todd has a quote on his wall. It says, "The bumblebee's wings are too small for it to fly, but the bumblebee doesn't know that, and so it lifts." And I not to drop another quote, but I love that so much, because it's so much about the way that you talk to yourself. My mom, growing up, ingrained it in us that like the way that you talk to yourself changes everything. My mom will write down affirmations every single morning, and I'm not as good as her. I'm not to the writing it down every morning yet, but I have tried so hard recently as I've watched that change my mom's life. Yeah. Like really thinking so consciously about the way that I think to myself, whether that is about myself, whether that is about money. That's like a big one that I'm learning as a newlywed, who's me and my husband are both in school still. Like, am I thinking I can't, like, am I thinking rich thoughts, or am I thinking I'm a broke college student thoughts, or am I thinking I can be successful, I am being successful? Before I took an exam last couple months ago, I was like, I am prepared. I studied hard for this. I know the material. I like just the way that you talk to yourself changes everything. If you don't say it, you don't even have to believe it. You can believe deep down that you are not beautiful, but if you tell yourself that you are beautiful, it will slowly change your perspective on everything. And I think it all starts with the way that you talk to yourself, even if you do not believe it, because I think it takes a while to actually believe, but you tell yourself it until it becomes your reality.
Right.
Do you mind if I hop on something you said? Because I think you said something that's really interesting.
Absolutely.
The idea that like saying to yourself that you're strong, you're beautiful, or something like that is, cocky, or like we're not supposed to think about ourselves in that way. I think that's such an interesting thought experiment, because like not to drop a New Testament story, but there's this story that I just resonate with stories a lot, and I think we all exist in a story. And there's this story in the New Testament where Christ is walking through a crowd of people, and there is a woman with an issue of blood who essentially has been pushed out of her community. She shows up here seeking healing, and she reaches for Christ and touches the hem of his robe, and he says, "Who touched me?" And I think it's so interesting, because he is the cleanest person to ever walk the earth, and he was able to feel her because he wasn't holding any sin, any resentment, any sort of like self-deprecating thought. Like, he was perfect. So to kind of like go back on that thought of like thinking that you're capable, you're strong, is selfish. I think sometimes if we're thinking these ruminating thoughts of like, I don't deserve to be here, I'm not beautiful, that is almost selfish, because you're thinking about yourself continually. Where if you show up somewhere and you're like, you know what, I deserve to be here, like how can I help someone else, and kind of have an outward perspective, I think that honestly does more good than trying to be like self-deprecating all the time. So I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, I'm capable, and I'm like worthy to help someone else too. Yeah,
well said. It reminds me of, the most powerful force in the human psyche is the story we tell ourselves about ourselves.
Absolutely.
And the psyche is our mind, spirit, and soul. So, our brains are powerful. It believes our story. So the story, we better make it a good one. Yeah. Right?
Absolutely.
It's funny, like, I always, if I hear someone sitting where you're sitting and they're beating themselves up, I'm like, would you ever tell your friend that? And they're like, never.
Yeah.
I go, and if they came to you believing that, what would you tell them? It's like, I would tell them to stop saying that.
Yeah.
But yet, for some reason, we're okay telling ourselves this negative story. But like to your guys' point, words are powerful. Words create, but also words destroy. And we got to be really careful what we say. And that's why I love your guys' approach. It's like, oh, okay, I had a few brownies tonight. Instead of going, geez, I'm a loser, I just put on 10 pounds. It's like, oh no, I had a couple brownies. It's okay. I don't need to beat myself up. Let's live a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
So, man, I love this conversation. What do you guys feel, or do you guys hear is the biggest lie that women tell themselves about nutrition?
That's a great question.
There might be many lies, but
there are
one
lots
that stands
of lies. Out? I think one that is very prevalent in today's day and age is more of like a physique that is the goal, like the golden standard, like that this is feminine, and that physique is, it's underfed, it's low muscle, it's underweight, it's, but like that small, I don't want to say.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the Beliefcast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap and Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode.
Sickly, because that sounds rude, but small, weak character, like that's
Unhealthy.
what people think is feminine.
Yeah.
And that really, it breaks my heart because it's unhealthy, and it's not only is it unhealthy physically, it's unhealthy mentally. And it's just, it's simply not true. Like the idea that like women should be strong and powerful and fed and healthy, like it's almost like that's not feminine and that's not beautiful. And, you know, I would say 95% of the clients that I meet with for the first time, they tell me, I want to look lean and toned. But that lean and toned look, like once we break it down, it's like so small and like frail. When it's like, okay, no, let's really think about this. Do you want to be confident in your skin?
Yeah.
Do you want to like feel healthy? Do you want to have more energy? Like, what is it that you really want? And I think the biggest lie is that is what's expected, and that is what women should want.
Okay.
That's, I think, at least that's what I see the most of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I think people think that it's a win to see how little they can eat every day. I think that is like the pinnacle of success for a lot of people, because it's just this programming. It's like, how small can I get? How small can I get? And your body adapts. So it's just this crazy cycle of like just never, like this never ending, like how tiny can I get? So I think, back to Matt's points, like we have like physical check-ins because we want to see progress. It's okay to have a physique goal, but also having like mental check-ins, like how are we feeling mentally? How are we feeling energy wise? Are we sleeping okay? And I think even bringing those questions up to people, if they haven't thought about those things, they're like, oh, I have been sleeping a lot better, and I have been feeling a lot more energy throughout the day. And so I think even if they don't totally recognize it, as we go through this process, now their metrics for health have expanded because they have the vocabulary to think of their body in that way.
Wow, love that. You know, you guys both talk about living bigger lives. I guess playing big. What does that mean? You guys talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
That's also a great question. These questions are great. Go ahead.
Okay, let me think. Yeah, no, that's a fantastic question. That's a big question. I'm trying to think of what way to attack that question.
Like when I have a visual when I hear that.
Yeah.
I have a visual of like, what does that look like? And it's pretty amazing. Again, back to the astonishing piece of all of us, right? Yeah. Like, you know, don't hold your candle under a bushel. No. You know, stand on a hill and let everyone see that light burning your good works. Let them see it. Yeah. Play big, kind of thing. You know. Yeah. That's where my mind goes when I hear that.
Yeah, play big. Wow. I think there's the two sides. There's the first side of like trying to figure out what your natural gifts are. I think that was interesting that you started off with the question of like, what were you like as a child? Because I think it's so fun to go back to those core memories. And I'll do that to myself, and I'll be like, okay, what are my natural instincts? What are my inherent gifts? And then how can I like really go full throttle on those things? Because I think that I think all gifts are from God, and then I think you have the responsibility to put in the time and the effort. And I think that you owe people who support you that, you know, and to really put in the discipline to get good at certain things you were blessed with. So I think in a not cocky way, I think it's good to think about what you're naturally good at and then just go like hard on those things. So for me, it's like talking about just like more tangible things. It was like for music, I was like, I'm gonna try to apply to like one of the biggest music schools in the world. Like people have supported me. Like I'm ready to like go all in on this, and it's scary. And then also with nutrition and fitness, you know, it's like nothing feels better than like a dead sprint and just like physically putting yourself through rigorous activities to show you how capable you are. And nutrition wise, like how can I become as educated as possible to help as many people? So I think just like pushing your natural gifts to the limits, and then just like trusting that like humanity will appreciate those things, and that you'll be able to meet people along your journey that will also bless you. So yeah.
Oh, I love that answer.
It's going off of what she said, my mom always said, I'm gonna mess this up. Think about what you love and find a way to make money doing it. Like when it comes to your career, because it doesn't matter what you love. Like if it could be quilting, it could be, I don't even know. Like there's such a wide variety that people think like, oh, this is my passion, but then I have to go do like my 9 to 5 where I put my head down and just get to work and I'm told what to do. Or you could believe, okay, I love quilting. How can I make a career out of this? And I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart, that is so capable. My brother-in-law is such a great example of that. He lost his job probably about, I don't know, it's probably been like 4 years now. I don't even know what he did actually, but he did something. And he
doesn't even matter now.
Doesn't
even matter
because he was passionate about food. He didn't go to culinary school. He just loved food and he loved sandwiches. And so he started making sandwiches for his family. And now he has a super, super successful sandwich business that he is fully supporting his family off of. It's so cool. And I just believe that so much. Like figure out what you love and you find a way to make money doing that. And I think that it's so real. But just going back to the idea of like we put ourselves in boxes like oh, that's not possible, it has to be a side hobby, or I'm not capable of making it big enough to go there. But when you ask the question, what does it mean to live a big life, I think it's getting outside of that box that you've put yourself in, where you believe the crazy thoughts and the ideas that come to your mind. Like once you start to believe it and think, oh my gosh, this can actually happen, that's what it looks like to live big, where you have the creative freedom and the ability to try and to be big, where you're not just living your life simply being told what to do. And I'm not saying everyone needs to go out and like start their own business or, be an entrepreneur. Cause I mean, we both have this entrepreneurial side of us, but then we also both have our stable jobs that help us as well, because I think that that's also important. You learn so many other things, but if you're doing that because you believe that that's the best that you can do, that's where the problem lies. Or are you doing that because you think it can benefit you in another way? Is I think that's a really important aspect of living a big life, is believing that you can do all these things that you dreamed of doing when you were a little kid, or even dreamed of doing when you were 50 years old or 23 or whatever. Yeah.
Wow. I love that answer as well. There was a study done, and I might have this wrong. I think it was out of Stanford University, where they interviewed hundreds, thousands of old people on their deathbed, and asked them a bunch of questions. And one of the questions, they basically came back, the data was like, they didn't regret what they did in their life, they regretted what they didn't do. And again, I think to your point, it's let's play big, let's go for it. Right? You guys put this your business together. I remember when you first put a post like, hey, we got some good news coming, right? And and you guys just went for it. Like, let's go. Why not? Instead of like, oh, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't. What do we know? Well, could have been a lot of excuses not to do it. Right? Yeah. And you probably had those racing through your mind at times too, because that's the human part of us. But you guys went for it. And that's what I'm so impressed. You guys are like powerhouses in my mind. I see these two confident women who love who they are, they love other people, and they want to give it away. That's what I'm seeing. So you won't be one of those at the end of life going, I wish we would have tried that, right?
Yeah, and can I just say, like, we are no more capable than the next person. Like when we started this,
totally.
We officially launched in January, and like for the first 2 months, I was like, oh, what did we do? We just like wasted all of our money. We put so much hard work into this. But I remember before we started seeing some real success, I was like, I don't even care, because I am so proud of what we have done and so fulfilled because we tried. Like we could have fallen on our face and thrown out all of the money that we had, But I was so proud of it because we tried, and that is so much better than being too afraid and watching somebody else do it. It's always possible, and you can either sit back and watch someone else do it, or you do it and it falls on your face and you are just so proud, because trying is so much more than what a lot of other people can say.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the idea of like no one is more capable than you are, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's just about like where you want to put your time and your energy. I genuinely believe that you can accomplish like whatever you're willing to sacrifice for.
Yeah.
And I think there's this assumption as well that like people want you to fail. Like, you know, like, okay, this doesn't work. Like everyone's going to see this business go down. But people want you to succeed.
They do.
You know, like even the clients we had, like they're sending us progress pictures. We're hyping them up. They're hyping us up, you know, after they finish. It's like they're telling all of their friends and they're like, how's it going? It's like, I think people want to root you on. I think there's this assumption where it's like, I'm going to prove the world wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think that's real.
I've always laughed at that. Yeah. Because you know how they say, you know, this is to all the people that doubted me.
It's like, who?
Yeah.
I think the only one doubting you was you.
Yeah.
I think we're all cheering each other on.
It's a bit of a projection. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. We're like, this is to the people who doubted me. And it's like, I don't think anyone doubted you. I don't even think that's real, like you said.
Yeah.
I think it's just yourself going, oh, I'm telling myself, I'm going to show myself and my own doubts that I got this.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like such an easy way to see that. Anyone who's doing anything bold in their life right now is doing, not anyone, but most people in their life is promoting themselves via social media one way or another.
Yeah.
And I think whenever you start posting on social media, whether it's for a business or a personal brand or, you know, whatever it is, it's such a creative outlet that can be so good. So many people are using it, but everyone always thinks, oh my gosh, I'm going to post it and be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so's trying to be an influencer now. That's so embarrassing. Or, you know, but you think anyone who has ever done anything cool in their life ever is never going to look at that and be like, oh, why is she trying to do that? Why is he going for that goal? That's weird. Like maybe the people who are putting themselves in a box, who don't believe in themselves, who don't believe in other people. Like I think that there are people out there, but why would you care what they say? Why would you care about those people who are not doing what you want to do?
Yeah.
Anyone who is successful, whether that is financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like if you are doing something cool in your life, you just cheer all the other people on because you've been there. Yeah. Because it is hard and it is vulnerable and it is scary, but we're all just in it together, just trying to make something.
Yeah. Someone doing more than you will never talk negatively about what you're doing.
Yeah. They're too busy. They're doing everything else.
If there are naysayers, and they're there, that's you know, they're usually doing less than you. They're usually, and it's usually a reflection to their own insecurity going, man, I wish I was doing something more.
Yeah.
And they project their hurt and their pain. You know, we see a lot of that sometimes on social media as well, but I always look at that as like, man, that person's hurting. Something deep down. If they're willing to go there, we can figure that out too.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it comes back to like just a natural like curiosity with people. Like if you see someone who's doing something amazing, and then you're self-deprecating, you're like, I could never do that. I think turning like this kind of like jealousy into just curiosity and being like, how did you get there? And then it's just like research. You're learning that they're waking up at 5 a.m. every day and they're doing these amount of reps. And you're like, okay, now is that process something that I actually want as opposed to the result?
Right.
So I think that curiosity is a good way to just like, that's a good temperature check. To be like, do I actually want what they have? And do I have the discipline to do that? And then it's like, you can just appreciate people. It's not like this jealousy game.
Right.
For sure.
Do you guys watch Ted Lasso by chance?
No, I need to. I've heard amazing things about it.
There's a little clip in Ted Lasso where he gets challenged at a dart game, but he says a quote by Walt Whitman, and I looked it up, and Walt Whitman didn't actually say it, so we'll give Ted Lasso a quote, but he said, "Be curious and not judgmental." So like if I'm curious about you two, and that's again why I wanted you on the show, I'm curious. I want to curious about how are you guys doing what you're doing, and how you're so confident, why do you believe in yourselves, and those kind of things. And so when we're curious about someone, we ask them a lot of questions. And when we ask someone a lot of questions, you get to know them. And when you get to know them, it's impossible not to love them, right?
Yeah.
100%.
But then if we flip that onto ourselves, if we're curious about ourselves, like you guys said in the beginning, and not judgmental. So if I'm curious, why did I have a gallon of ice cream last night before I went to bed. If I'm curious about it, I can ask myself some questions, right? And then I don't beat myself up, and I put myself in a much more powerful position versus judging myself. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I love that. I think like something I think a lot about like people who struggle with mental health. It's often something that they hide.
Yeah.
Because you're embarrassed about it. You think that no one else is going through it. But, you know, if someone that you looked up to and admired so much sat down and said, I struggle getting out of bed every day because I don't know if I want to be here.
Right.
You would never think, oh my gosh, that's so lame. Like, you are so less cool now.
Right.
Like, you were just like, oh my gosh, you are a real person that is amazing. Me too, probably. Or I've been there. Like, whether it is mental health or whatever category, like, the more you get to know someone, the more you love someone. And that's how Jesus Christ is. And that's not to turn this onto its the religious side, but like, I know that Jesus Christ loves me because he knows me. Sorry, I'm getting emotional, but
please.
When Jesus Christ suffered in the garden, like, he saw the darkest parts of me that no one knows, that I still have a hard time admitting to myself. But because Jesus Christ knows that, because he knows me fully, he loves me fully. And that's how it is with every single person who has ever been on this earth, will be on this earth, or has been on this earth. Like, Jesus did it for everyone, and that's why he loves you. And that applies to people as well. The more you know someone, the more you love them. So.
Right.
I love that, Matt.
Thank you for sharing that. It was powerful. Oh, this is awesome. I love what you guys are talking about. How is nutrition and, physical exercise linked to either, I guess, lack of poor mental, and then you have poor mental health, but if you do these things, your mental health is so much better. How are they linked? Why?
In every single way. They are so intertwined.
Right.
I just read this book for my exercise physiology class. It's called Spark, and it is such a good book, but the whole book is just how exercise affects you in other points of your life rather than just your physique or your physical health. But they did so many studies there, and you can look them up today, study after study after study on how exercise affects your mental health and how they have been proven to be just as beneficial as some antidepressants. It's the connection is so real, but it's hard when you're struggling. It's so much easier to take a medication than it is to get up and go for a run, and it's hard. And I know that in some cases, like, for sure, medication is there for a reason, 100%. But don't undermine exercise and pair them together, because it is so powerful. And what I got from that book is that I think doctors are hesitant because it almost sounds too good to be true that, like, exercise can cure postpartum depression, and it does so many amazing things. But I think doctors are hesitant because it sounds too good to be true. But just the studies, the proof is in the pudding. It is so beneficial. I have no words except for it's amazing. You can't disconnect them.
Well, speaking of studies, there was a study out of Australia, and they had put this into Science Daily, where they took a group of depressed people, and some of them used therapy, traditional therapy for depression, and the others just exercised. And they followed them for a long period of time, and the data came back that exercise was 1.5 times more effective on depression than just typical therapy. And again, not that therapy is bad or wrong.
Yes, and it's amazing. But they can go hand in hand.
Yes, they can go hand in hand. But I'll tell you, when I work out in the morning, I call it my morning medication. I feel like I'm on fire. I can tackle the world.
Movement is medicine.
And it has nothing to do. And it has nothing to do with necessarily that how I look. It's more how I feel. And I'll tell you, I really, it's like I need that. It's I got to go take my medication this morning. I'm going to the gym.
I think there's so much power too. Like, one reason why I love working out, it makes you feel good, but also, like, setting a goal for yourself and watching yourself achieve it is so incredible, and you can do that physically. That's by far my favorite thing about being a personal trainer, is watching someone walk into the door for the first time and being like, hi, this is my first time here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very new. And then, like, a couple months down the road, they're lifting heavier than they ever thought was possible. I was doing tricep extensions the other day, and I almost cried because I was so proud of myself, because I was like, my triceps are so weak, but I'm so proud of myself because, like, I think the idea of setting a goal and accomplishing it is so good for your mental health and so rewarding. And I think that's just another pillar of exercise that is so good for your mental health.
That.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and not to discredit medication at all. I think there's definitely a place for that. I think also just the idea of like anxiety as well. I think typically when I feel anxious, it's because I'm kind of disoriented. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're in a crowded room and you're like, I don't know where I am. And that could be like a mental thing or a physical thing. But I think having a way to orient yourself and give yourself a goal is so huge.
Right.
I think there's a physical aspect, obviously, of getting endorphins. You're increasing muscle mass. That's fantastic for your brain. And then there's also the mental component of like, do 12 push-ups, then you do it and you're like, okay,
oh my
I
gosh,
can do
I
that
just
now.
did that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my gosh, when I was
true.
coaching at Orange Theory in Los Angeles, it's a melting pot there. Super eclectic.
Oh, yeah.
I got to meet people from all different types of cultures. And I would get so emotional. I would have to turn around all the time because I'd have like a tear running down my streak because I'd have a streak tear that was running down my streak. There you go. And so in Orange Theory, you're rowing and you're running and you're lifting weights. So a little bit of everything. Is very athletic training. And I would have women who would come in who didn't grow up playing sports, and they would have sometimes they would have just had like 3 kids.
Yeah.
They're coming in, again, all different types of cultures. So maybe that wasn't a part of like their culture growing up. And I'd be like, okay, like let's try running today. Like just like a light jog. They do it. They come consistently. You know, people are showing up for them. They're offering support. And like in a couple months, they're like sprinting. And I would be like, Diane, you're sprinting at like a 7. That's incredible. And I would have to like turn away and like literally cry because I was like, they would come in, you know, like very self-deprecating. Like, I don't know if I can do this. And now they're like running next to someone and they're like, come on, they're hyping each other up. And I'm like, wow, that's so powerful. Like, I think it's one thing to be like empathetic and be like, you don't need to do that today, like go back to bed. And it's another thing to be like, it's hard and you're gonna do it. And you're gonna feel incredible. Like I even love coming to Matt's burn boot camp. I went and she's like, let's freaking go, you know. And it's
I know,
like,
I've seen some clips of that. I was like, man, she is on fire.
no, she's
I
a
love
powerhouse. And it's like we'll have like intimate conversations where we're like, yeah, this is a hard day. And then like you get in a class and she's like, okay, get lower. And you're like, okay. And it's a different type of love. And I think it's okay to like offer tough love, you know?
Oh, for sure. We never know how strong we are until that hidden strength is forced to come forward. And sometimes we need a force. Sometimes we need someone going, let's go. Let's get out of bed.
Oh my gosh, my favorite people in the world have been my coaches. You know, getting up at like 6 a.m. I was like 12 trying to run 3 miles. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. And like, I have like my soccer coach from Norway who's like, keep it moving. Keep it moving. And I'm like, okay.
I just threw up.
I know. He's like, wipe it off and keep going. That's why I love seeing women in sports as well. And like dance or like or just something that is like challenging. And I think again, like recognizing what is normal, like it's normal to feel nervous. It's normal to feel tired. It's normal to be scared. And I think putting yourself also in workout positions where you feel that constantly, like I don't know if I can lift this weight, or like people are watching me, but like that repetition of showing up for yourself is so huge mentally.
No, so well said. Wow, this is an awesome conversation, and like we said, we could be here for 3 or 4 hours. If I don't know what your schedule's like today, but I'm going to shift gears just a little bit here. So, and I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you love most about Mads?
Oh, what a fantastic question. I think the first thing that comes to my head is like Matt's ability to just attack life. You know, we're going to like a lot of unknowns with starting a company. I think we both have very entrepreneurial spirit, so I feel like that's a way that we connect. But then in terms of like problem solving, like we'll look at a problem and we're like, we're gonna figure this out. And I think she has incredible like mental stamina of like, we're gonna keep doing this. And nothing is too hard for her to get through. And I think that's like very contagious. You're the best. Because you need that in a teammate. You know, it sometimes feels like it's you against the world. You have clients asking you questions, and if you don't know it, you're researching. We're sending each other a million voice messages. And she's like juggling a ton of things, right? She's in school, she's training, she's newly married, and she's like in class, like working on a project, like sending me a voice memo. So I think like just her ability to like juggle and like genuinely feel capable enough to help people. And I think that comes from her love for just like creating an environment to let people feel empowered. Like that's important enough for her to like maybe feel like not capable enough. Like she's like, I'm willing to feel new at this because I know how important this project is. So that's really cool about her.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was nice.
She's the best.
Okay, Mads, what do you love most about Anna?
So many things. Like I said at the beginning, like it has truly been such a blessing working with her. Anna is like, she's just an engine.
Thanks, Mads.
She is the power, honestly, behind NOA. Like the way that this all, a little bit of backstory came together. Like I said, our sisters were friends. We were both working for another nutrition coaching company at the time, and she was living in LA, so we hadn't really met. We would just text back and forth, just questions about different clients or ideas that we had. And then you probably were the first one to bring it up. She's like, we should start a business together. Like, we should just do this. And I was like, immediately like, well, I don't know if I'll be here in a year. Like, I immediately was like, came up with a million excuses, and I was like, I don't think I'm sorry. Like, would it be really cool? I don't think I can. And Anna's like, no, we can do this. Like, Anna is just like you said about me, which is so nice of you. Like, there's no walls for Anna. She's just go. She has an idea and it will happen. There's nothing, if Anna gets the idea, there's nothing that she cannot do. Yeah. And I just love seeing her. Like when she first moved back from LA to Utah, it was like, okay, I'm working this job because I need to get on my feet. I'm working this, but while I'm doing this job, I'm listening to a bunch of different podcasts. I came back, let me tell you about how I learned how to use Claude and what Dr. Huberman taught me about this. And like, she just will learn everything and make herself so capable to do whatever it is in her path. If she wanted to be the president tomorrow, she would be the president. Like, she puts her mind to something,
nice,
I wish
and
she
it
were.
happens. It is such an incredible quality, and she keeps me accountable. If I ask her to do something, I have no question that it will get done promptly and so well and with a lot of intention and so thoroughly. She just gets stuff done.
Matt, that's so nice. That's so sweet.
It's so amazing.
Wow.
She's the best.
That's so kind.
Seriously the best.
Yeah, well, this really just kind of proves why you guys work so well together. You complement each other really well. You guys both have a passion for helping people, and you're both really confident in your abilities. Again, you don't know everything, but you will go find it if you know, and you help each other get there. And again, like you said, when you have knowledge, you have a lot more power. And when you know better, or when you know more, you do better. So yeah, very well said, buddy. Man, you're tearing me up over here.
Thank you for asking that question, because that was so kind. Everything she said, I'm like, it's funny. You kind of recognize that in the other person. Every compliment she gave to me, I was like, I see those same things in you. So that's so nice.
Yeah. And again, thanks for sharing and getting vulnerable with that. Again, I want to share a quote with you guys. Okay. And it's a really long quote. Again, let it sink in. So buckle up. It's kind of long.
I'm ready.
Love it.
But just maybe give like a sentence on what you take away from this quote. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Here we go. It's by James Allen. He's famous for writing As a Man Thinketh. And anyway, he wrote this in like 1905.
Okay.
It's here's how it goes. Your strength is with you, and you can spend it burrowing downward or climbing upward. You can dissipate it in selfishness or conserve it in goodness. The same energy will enable you to become a beast or a god. The course along which you direct it will determine its effect. Do not think the thought, my mind is weak, but convert weakness into strength, energy into power by redirecting your mental forces. Turn your thoughts into noble channels, put away vain longings and foolish regrets, abolish complaint and self-condolence, and have no dalliance with evil. Lift your face upward, rise up in your divine strength, and spurn from your mind all meanness and weakness. Do not live the false life of a whining slave, but live the true life of a conquering master.
Wow. Dang.
That's good.
Yeah, really right? I was trying to find what could I share with you guys, but man, I think I've got some thoughts, but I want to hear what came to your mind, Mads, and then Anna.
Yeah, the very first thing that came to my mind is just the idea that like emotions are energy, whether that is anger is energy, and energy just needs to be redirected. Are you frustrated with where you're at in your life right now? What are you going to do with the energy? Are you going to direct it into like being mad, taking it out on your spouse, your roommate, whatever? Or are you going to take that energy and redirect it into, okay, I'm going to build something. I'm going to recognize, what am I frustrated in my life? I'm going to change it. Am I sad at my life? Just energy is, I mean, if you think of, I don't know if this like really scientifically applies, like the law of thermodynamics, like energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Yeah.
Like you direct it, and you either direct that and keep it sad energy, and or you direct it into creative or bold, brave, like whatever energy that could be better. Like that is 100% in your power. Like I think that we as humans, we miss the plot when we think that we don't have our agency, and that we act, or when we are acted upon rather than acting for ourselves. So that was just the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, that's great.
Energy needs to be redirected.
Thank you.
No, that's fantastic. Wow, what a quote. Like one sentence is something.
I know it's hard.
He's a fantastic writer. I think what came to my mind is we all have like an inner engine. We all have like, you know, unbound capability, but where do you want to orient yourself in your life? And I think that's the biggest thing, is taking a moment to be like, where do I want to end up? What's important to me? And I have the inner capability to get there, for better or for worse.
Right.
And I think studying history is extremely interesting, because it's like the greatest leaders of all time, or the leaders that use their power for devious means, like they all started as children. We all have the same exact like mental capacities for the most part, but it's how they wanted to use their gifts and their talents and their power. So it's like taking a moment to orient yourself and be like, okay, where do I want to drive? You can go one of two ways. So I think that was an interesting kind of psychoanalysis, and just like a commentary on the human spirit of like, we have unlimited capability, which is exciting and also a little bit scary. It's like, where do you want to end up? There's kind of like a nihilistic approach you could take to it, but also a hopeful perspective of like, you could go anywhere, but orient yourself the right way.
Ooh, well said, both of you.
Can I just add one other thing?
Yeah, please.
Sorry, this came to mind as Anna was talking.
No, you're good.
The way that my mom has recently taught me how to set goals. I reference my mom a lot. If you have
hey, we all love your mom.
But the way that she recently taught me how to set goals is, she said, imagine yourself at your 80th birthday party, and you have your family, your friends, everyone important to you in your life, and they're all giving toasts. Like, I am so grateful, like, happy birthday, Todd. You were so this. What do you want people to say about you? And set your goals according to that. Do you want at your 80th birthday party that everyone is like, she was so good at her job? Or do you want people to say, you know, she was so brave, and she was so kind to people, and she saw no limits? Like, what do you want people to say about you at your 80th birthday party? And that was a really interesting perspective for me, to set my goals according to that, because I think it's really easy to be like, okay, this year I want to run a marathon. Okay, but why do you want to run a marathon? Is it because you want to prove to yourself that you're capable of something, or just to like say that you did it? Like what is it about that? And if you understand your why behind everything, it just makes you so much more powerful. And so I think what I've got out of this conversation is like the importance of like recognizing human connection and like the power that is in humans. And so I think, just kind of going on to what you said, like the power is in you. You just need to decide which way.
Yeah, I love it. Life comes through you and not at you. I love that idea. And
Anna loves that quote.
I'm always saying that quote, and Lori's such a queen. I love that. That's a really cool thought experiment. I'm going to start doing that.
Say that quote again.
Life comes through you and not at you.
Yeah. I often will say life happens for you, but then I like the part, life goes through you, right? And I think about everything you guys have been through in your life led to this moment. Like, this is where I get emotional, where I took my first drink of alcohol when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
And that opened up the door of 10 years of addiction. And it was hell. But I'm grateful for that drink at 11. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I'm sitting here talking to you two. Think about that. That drink led to this moment today. Wow. You guys weren't even born when I had that drink for a long time, but it blows my mind. Like your life led to this moment, Anna. Your life, Mads, led to this moment. And here we are having this amazing conversation. What are the odds of this? I mean, right? So I'm grateful for that drink. And I'm one of the lucky ones that made it through that. But here we are talking with each other. How cool is that?
I'm such a believer that you can tie a direct line to every, like all the hardest things that you've been through in your life, you can draw a direct line to the best things in your life. I'm such a believer of that. And guarantee if any one of you listening and you just shared you can do it, and I think we can all like think of the very hardest thing that you've ever been through and then think of the best thing in your life right now. There's such a direct correlation.
I love that.
So thank
Well,
you
this,
for sharing.
you bet. Yeah. This leads to the final question. We'll start with Anna.
Okay.
If there's someone listening to your voice right now, they're tuned into this episode and they are struggling, they are in a dark place, and they're listening to you right now, what would you tell them?
I'm also loving your genuine energy like this. I really appreciate like all the thought you put into these questions, because this is amazing being here. I've never been on a podcast before. This is really cool.
Which surprise, right?
I know, she's a natural.
You're natural. I'm like, man.
I talk all the time, so I pretend I'm on a podcast while I'm getting ready in the morning. But no, so this is fantastic. First of all, thank you. I've really loved this.
You bet.
Okay, what to share with someone who's listening right now who's struggling? I would say, I feel like just kind of a broad antidote to struggling is finding human connection. And I find that in a ton of ways. Obviously, I'm so passionate about music. So finding an outlet and a connector to connection, whether that's human connection or the divine. So I would say prayer is huge for me. Listening to music that inspires me, talking to people that I know have my best interest, and just knowing that I think the root of struggling is feeling alone. And a lot of people are feeling that way. Whenever I'm feeling lonely, like just shooting a text to a friend, and they're probably feeling the same way. So I feel like trying to reach out to someone, and I think other will also appreciate that hand because they're looking for a hand as well.
Wow. Well said. Thank you. Okay, the same question to you, Mads. If there's someone tuning in, listening to you that's struggling, what would you tell them?
This seems kind of random, but this is what I feel impressed to say, and it's not that deep. It is put your phone away. I think just going again on that human connection, we lose that. When you go on social media, you look like, oh, I feel so lonely because I'm looking at all these other people who are at a party tonight. When in reality, they were probably by themselves when they posted that. Or looking at, so-and-so's hair looks so beautiful. Did you know she's been insecure about it forever? I saw this post on social media, actually, a couple weeks ago. It was like, you're not behind, your screen time is too high. You're not depressed, your screen time is too high. You're not fat, your screen time is too high. Like all these things, and the answer to all of them was your screen time is too high because you lose that human connection. It's just like what we said at the beginning. Like when you have a question, is that a question for ChatGPT? Is it a question for Google? Is it a question for, just to, I don't want to think about it, I'm going to go scroll for 10 minutes that leads to 4 hours? Or is it, I need to put my phone away, I need to go touch some grass, I need to go talk to another human being about what I am struggling with, and just realize like we are all human, and what you're going through right now is so normal, but it doesn't seem like it because social media is a highlight reel. And it's not real. What you see on social media is fake. Like if someone has the time to like put up a tripod and say something, most of the time it's not real. And I mean, we're all on social media. I'm victim to it as well. But that's my one piece of advice is get your screen time down. I saw something that was like, it's not that you don't have time to go to the gym. Your screen time is 5 hours a day.
Go outside, please. See the sun.
Wow.
That's going to be the first thing to go. If you're looking at your life and trying to decide what needs to change, if your screen time is too high, that's going to be the first thing to go.
Dang.
So.
Wow. Beautiful advice from both of you. That was amazing. Dang. Wow. I don't want this to end, man. This is so cool.
This is so fantastic.
Love
Todd.
chatting with you guys. If people want to reach out to you guys, they want to learn more about NOA Nutrition, learn more about you individually, or have a question for you, and just to get to follow and do all the good things that you guys are doing so they can learn from you, what's the best way to get a hold of either one of you?
We'll give you our socials. We have a website, we have an email, and then we both have like our personal.
What's your website?
Our website's just noanutrition.com.
Okay.
NOA's NOA NOANutrition.com.
Okay.
You can, our email's on there, our social media's on there.
Mm-hmm.
We offer, before we do any bookings with any nutrition clients, we always have like an initial consultation call with them.
Yeah.
Just to initiate that human connection.
Yeah, completely
Yeah.
free.
If,
so it's not
free.
intimidating.
If you
Yeah.
just
We're not
wanna say-
intimidating. Call us.
Yeah, you
yes.
guys, man, serious. They already know this. Listening to this, like, man, these two are amazing.
Yeah, even if you're curious, just DM us, call us. If
Yeah.
you're not sure it's something that you'd benefit from, just like a combo with you guys would be
Consultation
great.
calls
Yeah.
15 minutes. It's free.
Yeah.
You can sign up through our website. So yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah,
everything's directed
NOA
to the
Nutrition, NOA.
website. Yes.
There we go. I love that. And I'll put the link in the show notes when we go live, and they can just click right to it. And
Perfect.
we'll
Great.
promote the heck out of this when we go live on
Yes.
this. But wow, amazing conversation. I feel better just talking to you two. I feel like this was a sacred moment for me. I hope you guys know that.
I feel the
So-
same.
I
Thank
still-
you. Thanks for having
Yeah.
us in your space. It's
Absolutely.
incredible.
Wow. You guys, I just want, we could hang out every day.
I know. You
Right?
know, what are you
Let's
doing
run it
after that? Should we go get some lunch?
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, again, thanks for, trusting me enough to come, share your life with me and my followers and listeners. And I think I'm the one that benefits the most from all this, because I get to sit with you guys and just see it, firsthand. But thanks to my listeners who are tuning in right now. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much for just believing in this.
He means it. When he says that, he means it. When he says,
Yeah.
I love you guys,
Yeah,
I really
I
do.
can
tell
feel
when
it. I
someone
can
says
feel it.
and when someone means it,
Yeah.
he means it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I really do. I think this world is lacking in love and compassion, and just give someone, a second chance. I had so many second chances in my life
Yeah.
to be sitting here with you guys. We all need that second chance. And when we get to know people, if we're curious, we'll ask them questions, and it's impossible for us not to love that person. So be curious, guys. Please reach out to Anna and Mads. Please check out their website. Check out all the good things that they're doing. If you're struggling, reach out to them. Do that consultation, that free consultation. If you have a son or a daughter who's struggling, have them reach out. Have them listen to this episode, and it'll open up the door for a conversation and that connection that we're talking about. So again, thanks to my sponsors. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. And one last thank you to you too. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your time
Todd.
today.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
This is great.
You bet.
We love you, Beliefcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we have to say goodbye. But thanks for tuning in. Love you guys.